Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the...
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They got a yard on first, 2 on second, and 3 here on third.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start. Yeah,
I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
They go play action here on first down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 81 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On play action, Rosen. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now Gordon on first down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Rosen got Gordon open, completes it.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. The numbers for him from a week ago: 8 catches, 60 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
On first down, Robinson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield who can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run on first down. Robinson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Watch out. Check nickel.
They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. A look now at how Denver is going to line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve, because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
On 2nd down, it's Robinson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen.
That's how we do it, baby.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. This is the tight end fan. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On 1st down, it's Wise, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now a give, right side. It's Robinson. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Gordon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now Rosen looking to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
7 yards there and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run with Gordon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Kill, kill, kill. Whip.
On 3rd down, Robinson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now.
And got his man complete. The 30, 10, and all the way home for a Bronco score. A big play there. 83 yards as they are now on the board here in the first half. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Down to lose one.
Throwing again. Fields. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Let's go.
It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
On first down, Fields. He's got his man here as Gary Jennings Jr. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Back to throw. Fields letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the...
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A little jet sweep to start the drive, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Pittsburgh.
Hey, come on now, come on now. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
They'll run on first down. Wise, he's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw. Fields. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 15-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Show it up, show it up. Check 13, check 13. Back, tighten up, tighten up.
On first down, Robinson. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Robinson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
And it's 3rd down.
What? Twist. Check 43.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball.
And he will try, but he can't. He can't escape the end zone. Gordon is taken down, and it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, pick your game up.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Throwing on first down. Fields. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll run on first down. It's Wise, and he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
4 down.
2nd and 6. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Watch the safety creep. Kill. Out. Under 10.
On first down, it's Robinson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Safe. Check out. Hatchet.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Robinson. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Big dash. Go. Check 26. Joker.
They'll run on first down. Robinson. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Let's go. Rush in. Hey, check 24. Undercrunch. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
I'm coming after you. Check 50.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. It's the fullback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now it's Rosen. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. Here's Rosen to throw, and he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means that the
ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Gano the extra point, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one good for 33 and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Watch the eye. Check.
Right back to him on first down. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they looked like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Here's Rosen. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
At the 47-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Robinson, and he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
It's just me.
Going to give this time to the tailback. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Check. Check hot route. Hot.
Give it here to his running back. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put
themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.